Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Meagan Burns. I am an artist, educator, and workshop creator living in Mexico City. I'm from Chicago, but I live and work here in Mexico City. And today I'm going to do a continuous line drawing demo. As I did last week, these are going to be a weekly offering that I'm going to have as part of my continuous line storytelling group, which is a free Facebook group, but I also have continuous line drawing classes, continuous line fundamentals. But all the information can be found on continuous line storytelling, or my page is Meagan Burns. So, okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to do another cafe scene. I'm not always going to do cafe scenes, but they are a popular subject for drawing. And here in Mexico City, so here's this photo. I'm going to have it available for, so you can download it, because I would love for everyone to draw this in your style and then share it in our Facebook group if you like, or tag it on Instagram. So let's just take a look at it first here for a moment. This is in the neighborhood of Condesa. It's called Tout, Chocolat. It's a cafe and chocolateria, if I'm saying that right. And it's also in a super cool Art Deco building. Mexico City is really known for just some amazing Art Deco, and especially here in Condesa, right? So we've got this beautiful curved angular building, right, with the curved glasses too, not glasses, windows, right? And then the windows, everything kind of goes down from there, right? So the thing I often tell people is to, when getting started drawing, is to look for the sidewalks to get yourself grounded, and then build everything up from there, with the thing that is closest to you is the tallest, right? So, yeah, there we go. So I'm going to switch this camera so you can watch me draw. Watch me draw. All right, let me get my technology out of the way here. And so I am drawing this with my fude, as I like to call it. I think it's, actually, I forget even how you say it at this point. But this is kind of my main thing that I draw with, using the platinum carbon ink that I refill, and I just refilled. That's why my fingers are smudged with black. I use my Pentel brush pen, and my latest trick pen, fun pen, is the Uniball, right? This is something I'm just playing with, but my go-to is the fude, right? So let's see, where am I going to look at this? I am going to look at this right here. All right, so let's begin. Oh, this paper is just middle of the road Canson, Canson XL watercolor. What is it? 140 pound. It's like middle of the road watercolor paper, right? So, you know, I do these things, and it's always kind of a leap of faith, right? I'm never quite sure, but I have found that I'm kind of at this place, like, even if I start wrecking a sketch, I can somehow resurrect it, right? But no guarantees, right? Let me just check. Let me make sure one thing I want to mention is, before I draw, I always do my continuous line warm-ups. This is something that I do in the continuous line storytelling. I do live streams from the streets of Mexico City at cafes like Tout, Chocolat, and I do drawing warm-ups, right? So these exercises have been very helpful in strengthening my line confidence, my drawing abilities, and building my drawing confidence, right? All right, here we go. Here we go. I never know where I'm going to start. That's why I have found that planning doesn't really do me any good, because my pen just kind of has, when I say go, it it goes. And so that was kind of scary doing those big those big ones, right? So, and then from here, it's kind of like, yeah, we got this table. Ah, God. Sometimes it's scary, right? I'm just like, oh, I think there's always a voice in my head that's like, oh my God, you just totally wrecked it. Even though I probably didn't, but there's you got to battle those voices that go, oh my God, what did you just do that for? And so from here, we're going to jump up and just go. Oh, there we go. This has got some crazy architecture line. So here we're going to go. Okay, yeah. So wing. Um, see that I'm over here in this section. It's a little dark, so I'm trying to figure out where am I looking at? What am I looking at? Okay, and then we start to get these. They have lots of big windows, so you can look in and watch the chocolate magic happen. This was actually the cafe that I was in 2019. No, excuse me, 2020. When the world was like shutting down from COVID. I was in here and I was drawing people. And oh, I see, there's a table. And everyone just looked, I still have that sketch because it was kind of like my sketch of the end of the world, right? Like what the heck was going on? And was that like the scariest thing when everything, the world started shutting down, right? So I was in here and there's a few employees that are still there and I've shown them the sketches and they're like, that was such a scary time, right? Because no one knew what the heck was, oh yeah, the whole world's shutting down. Everyone just stay home, right? Oh my God. So yeah. So this little cafe holds a special place. Just like if you're hanging out at cafes, you probably have a cafe story too, right? There we go. So these are actually down the floor. I didn't even realize that. Okay. And so we got that one, and then we got this one. So I think there's more windows and everything, but I am just going to simplify and so this is the biggest part right here, right? So let's see here. I'm going to put a table. I kind of have that umbrella in the wrong spot, but you know what? Nobody cares. And it doesn't matter, right? Like when you're drawing stuff, you are the architect and you get to like put things where you want to put them, right? So I never get too freaked out that I'm like, oh, I just got that in the wrong spot, because I just make it up then. So I'm going to put a girl at the table here. I'm going to make her a little bit taller. There we go. And there's her feet. And she's going to have a little dog with her, because everyone has a little dog in Condessa. Oh, he looks like a rat. That's all right. Here, I'll put another. There, it looks like a rabbit. She's got her pet rabbit with her, right? So yeah, there's all kinds of crazy. Now I'm gonna put another. So let's see here. This we've got big sandwich board right here. Tout. Chocolat. Now I picked up my pen there a little bit, and that just happens. That sometimes happens when I'm writing. It's totally okay to lift your pen. I tell people that all the time. There's no continuous line police, and actually there's a phone booth right here. Now, I'm maybe getting a little crazy with the details, but it's kind of what I do. I like to just get a lot in there. Tell next. Well, I'm right over there. And so there's actually still phone booths in Mexico City. Not many, but here we go. Okay, and so now let's see, what do I want to do? It's totally askew, and I'm totally okay with that, because then we've got coming from here. I'm going to go up here now. We got that, and some windows, and we've got bigger window, bigger windows. And there's like some Art Deco enhancements. Now here, I know that this is off, right? Like it's off kilter, and I'm totally okay with that. I think it adds to the charm of now I could just slow things down and just be much more precise about these things, but honestly, who cares? Nobody cares. Let's see, it goes that way, and then it goes that way. And then we have that way. Yeah. And we actually have some big trees here, so I'm going to do that. Yum, yum. I'll do that. I'll thicken that up with my brush pen when I get there. We have more trees here. This is kind of a good pen for trees because you get little gaps, and you know, no tree is like perfectly straight like how I just drew that. These are, especially in Mexico City, there's lots of really old trees. And let's see, I'm going to put this street sign, I'm going to kind of move it a little bit. Yeah. Actually, I think, oh, look, my pen was not even working right there. I think I'm going to do some words. Tout. I avoided doing words for a very long time just because they kind of make me nervous. But I just have gotten to a point where I'm like, who cares? Who cares? And just add the words, right? We can make it very interesting. Tout. It's spelled the French way, I think, and there's no E on the end. If that's French. Chocolat. Remember that movie? Juliette Binoche. Beautiful. She was a beautiful witchy woo woman. And everyone was afraid of her because she was so witchy woo. Chocolat. Never know if I'm gonna hit it right with words. And it's not how it's on the building, but you know what? It doesn't matter. This is not, I am never going to prescribe to Choco be accurate drawing, right? You know, I kind of can remember thinking back in my youth, I told somebody I wanted to be an architect, and I told my friend's father, who I was afraid of, that I wanted to be an architect. And guess what? He laughed at me. And guess what? I never even thought about it again. And thank God, because I don't think I would want to be an architect. But now I get to draw architect like in my own style. And not architecturally, because I don't think I would be very good at that. I'm not good at being like precise and exact and sitting in a cubicle. I'm not good at any of that stuff. All righty, so let's see here. I want to add the street sign, and I think I'm going to go up here and just add some more architecture stuff. It's very Art Deco-y here. And so I'm just having it kind of, and then there's trees, right? This is right on the park. So there's a big tree. See, how about that architecture, right? It's not my focal point, so I don't really care, right? There's two umbrellas there, and I'm just gonna do, you know, because like when there's doorways and stuff, it's just on an angle here, it's just a line. There's the umbrella. There's our gal. Okay, so here's this. And then what I kind of want to do is I want to add a person. And so I have to think about this for a moment, because I like to do sketches where with people, right? Need a little sip of water. I think oftentimes when we start sketching, we don't include people because people are scary, right? So I am going to add Do I want to add me? It's just easy because I can just think about it in my head a little bit easier. So yeah, I'm going to add me, and I'm going to put me right here, right here. And put my sunglasses on this one. And well, wouldn't you know it? I'm putting my dog. Everyone has a dog. So she has very long front paws, right? So there she is. All right, and then let's see. There we go. See, and I just drew me right over everything because I can do that. There. Yeah, put my shoes on and give myself some shoes, right? And then there's in Tout, there's like, they have some hanging lights, right? People sitting in there. I'm just making some noise, right? Because I'm kind of at the end of this sketch here. To make sure there. Oh, I didn't. I want to get the street sign, which I'm going to do right here. Azulumo. Oh yeah, I'm doing it on the wrong end. Let's see. And look at that. Even the pole is off, but you know what? I don't care. Oh. Z. How do I make a Z? Sometimes I forget what a Z is. U. Yeah, crazy words, street names here. A lot of them are not Aztec. They're I can't even remember, but they're indigenous names. L-U-A-M-A. Okay, so there we go. And I just put it like wherever, and even the whole pole is off. But you know what? I don't care. So yeah, there we go. I want to add one more chair over here. Oh, and I just totally jumped. I could do that because there's a car back in the distance. And I'm going to put some people here because there's always going to be people, right? And then there's another dog. In the distance. And then they have like these crazy, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, maybe. They have these crazy Mexican, I think they're called Acapulco chairs. And they're super uncomfortable. And I swear to God, every place has them. I don't understand that because it's like you can't, once you get in, you can't get out. And they're super uncomfortable, but every place in Mexico City has them. I'd say in general, there's a lot of uncomfortable furniture in Mexico. It's the weirdest thing, right? So there we go. Okay, so there's my drawing, my continuous line drawing. I lifted my pen a few times, but That's just how it goes. All right, let's see here. I've got my Daniel Smith paints, and I've got some saturated watercolor inks, Ind Art Italian watercolor inks. I got my way. So first off, I want those words to stand out. So I'm really gonna just try to go around them. Actually, I'm gonna use some of this. No, I'm not. I have to get away from using too many saturated inks because it covers up my lines, and I like to see my lines. And when I cover them up, I feel sad. Yeah. I never like anything just to be one color, right? You gotta like mix in some other things because with all the lights and everything and reflection, there's stuff going on there, right? So these windows, I'm just kind of drop in, because it may be a little dark in the photo, but there's stuff going on in there. Even in these here, right? These are stuff going on, right? So, there's stuff there too, but I drew me on top of it, right? So I'm just gonna I'm gonna kind of preserve me, because why not? If I don't preserve me, who's gonna preserve me? Let's see, what is that? Sometimes I get a little confused, like I'm not sure what I'm looking at. That's all right. Bigger brush for that. Use a little moon glow here. I don't like to cover the whole thing. I like to leave some white spots, right? Because I'm gonna go right up to the umbrella. Color looks a little bit different on the screen than, but I will be posting the photo, so my painting when it's done. So Zoom has a way of adding its own filter, right? I'm sure we've all experienced that, right? Put some rubs with water. I like big, bold strokes, right? Green too. I'm just gonna set it back a little bit. There we go. Now let's see. I always put myself wearing denim because that's what I do. I'm a denim gal. Now let's see here with all this. Honestly, this is all. There's so many trees in this neighborhood that it's actually quite shaded most of the time. I think I'm gonna do. Now I want to. I don't think it's darker. So let's see. I'm not really, I don't really care about being matchy match, right? I like having some variation in my, actually I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use it down a little bit. Layers of color. Even though I do things fast, I still like a sense of whimsy with the color, right? So it's got to be a little different and let's see. Yeah. I want to like kind of counter this. Yeah, let me go back to my moon glow a little bit so I can just. I'm at that point where if I go too much heavier with my paint, I'm gonna lose my lines, right? So I don't want to do that, but I do like the contrast of making sure that there are some darks, right? Because you can't have the light without the dark. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna call it. A little more dark in there. Not that dark. So let's go here. A little much darker, because otherwise I'm gonna lose my lines, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit, a little variation. because that's kind of an awning. And I totally wonked it up, but that's all right. There we go. There's me and my my dog walking. Oops, it's totally too dark. She went to hit it with blue, and that's all right. I mean, that's not even a focal point at all, right? So there you have it. There you have it. A very quick continuous line urban sketch. These make me laugh, right? Now that I'm kind of coming up from air, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at how crazy this is. And I love that, right? I don't want to be exact. I don't want it to be controlled. I don't want it to looks like it was hard, like it looked like it was painful, right? Like I like the looseness of this, and the, you know, it's just a sense of me walking my dog, right? My happy dog. See that? I got some cool shades on. Looks like I've lost a little weight. That's all right. You can do that. But we've got some people back here with their rat dogs and some people walking their dogs. Telmex, because there's still phone booths around here. The super uncomfortable Acapulco chairs. The umbrella, which is too big, but well, kind of. And you know, there's this whole theory about how to do umbrellas, right? Like where the colors should be. I like to just leave them alone because they can very easily go south, right? The only thing I may do here is I may just darken this up. See, this is where I get in trouble because I'm going to be like, oh, let me just darken that up a little bit. And then it's too dark and then I've lost my lines, right? But I just want, especially over here, I really feel like it should be darker. Oh, but look at that. I just lost my line. That's, I didn't really, it's, yeah, it's very easy. Let me get that back. When it's still wet, you can get it. Right. And I don't go to the edge because I like to just, I like some breathing room, as they say. Right. So this is all, well, not so much in the photo, but there's usually lots of leaves and stuff like that. So there, see, this is honestly where I get myself in trouble because I'm like, oh, let me just touch that up. I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's go over here. Let me bring you a little bit closer. Boom. Okay, everyone. So here we go. Here's today's demo of Tout Chocolat. It's a cute little cafe aquí en Condesa in la Ciudad de Mexico. For those of you that don't know, I had 2 dogs up until about earlier this year. And so I explored this whole neighborhood with my dogs. My dog had cancer, so she's not with us today. But anyways, I still like to have her live on with me in my drawings, and I draw her with me all the time. So I know it's one of those strange things, but you know, it's what I like. Until I get another dog that I'll be exploring with, I have to resurrect the dead. It's totally fine, right? Okay, so there we go. Here's to this week's continuous line drawing demo. Stay tuned, there will be more. I'm going to keep this going, and please do your version. Tag it with draw it in your style. Well, tag me if you can in Instagram or in our Facebook group. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thanks.